Hello, folks. My name is Maurice May. I am a comedian activist in the city of Detroit. And I'm president over Citizens First Investment Fund. And the reason why I created this foundation is because we need investments in the city of Detroit. Somehow people say a lack of investments means a lack of opportunity. And the fact of the matter is that when they look at a need, they say that's the problem, that there's no opportunities when they look around it and they see so much of a need in the city of Detroit. And for those of us who were educated on business or being an entrepreneur, we understand the number one ingredient is that when there's a need, there's an opportunity. And I had to find out it wasn't hard because, when there's a need, there's an opportunity. But why aren't there people investing? Why? Especially in the city. The reason why the city is going down, folks, is because the people in the city are not investing in the city. They're waiting for others. And this is why I see this wanting jobs, people wanting to get hired. They're waiting on big business to come in and pretty much save the day. And where can we look at in history where big business actually came in and saved the day? They never did. They never came in and saved the day. Folks, we talk about a deficit in our nation. Even when we talk about it in our state, my thing, and it's true for me, and as well as other people, that the cities like Detroit has always been in a economical deficit, a employment deficit. It wasn't a problem till it started to reach states and national. It wasn't a problem. And that concerns me. In fact, it troubles me because it did not become a concern. Our need in the city did not become a concern. So when they say that, we're going to fix this problem, I know you're not talking about the city, because the city was never a problem. Their deficit, their economical condition was never a problem. It was as if it's needed to stay that way. And when we talk about exploitation, there is a good exploitation. There's a positive exploitation, and there's a negative exploitation. And when I talked about that, I said to myself, some people look at the word exploitation just like they're looking at the word capitalism in a negative way, because people have exploited things in the worst negative way. They have capitalized on things in the worst negative way, meaning that their only interest was to make money, and they were only thinking of their own interest. And that's not how business is done. You fulfill the need. You say to yourself, I'm going to fulfill the need of that person and mine's. I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to fulfill their need. It's just like the person who created the internet. For instance, the person who created the internet, they fulfill their need. They got paid, and they're fulfilling your need. You use the internet to create business, social means, and just about anything. So the problem is people that exploit it turn bad when the people don't understand the consideration of the agreement, of the contract. They don't understand how to check to see if that's what you're really basically doing. They don't know how. Apparently people do not know how to check and make sure that you're doing your job right. For instance, we all understand a contract, we on agreement, somebody's fulfilling their need of the bargain. If you don't know how to check to see if they are actually doing that, they're not going to do it. History tells us that they're not going to do it. They're not. If you can't check and make sure that they do it, they're pretty much not. So, I say that because that's how our that's how our democratic society works. Checks and balance. That's why the president have to get the Congress to agree. They have to check and balance. They have to make sure that the president is not overstepping his responsibilities or his power, and the Congress can't do that either. When another member of the Senate, the Congress, or the House, you name it, is out of line, they can get impeached by the people. That's checks and balance. When people who create a business, a corporation, nonprofit, for profit, and they cheat, they're corrupt, they are not honest in their business dealings, the people can check them. But if they don't know how to check them, the people that's running the business can just overrun them. And then the people say, because of documentaries like Michael Moore, Capitalism is a Love Story, say that capitalism is evil. The people, instead of blaming themselves that they don't know how to use critical analytical thinking, critical analyzing things, because they don't know how to do that, they want to blame capitalism. But I think that we're too smart for that. I just think that we're set on a certain pattern where we think that if we just wait, that everything will work out. But years and years of years of that happening, and we still get the lesser end of the stick, shows that that's not to be true. So if you get anything from this, I hopefully that, okay, I'm a comedian, I'm an activist, and this is what I do. I hope that, in all honesty, I just hope that I be an opportunity to continue doing something that I love, and I just, for myself, I needed to take this movie, Michael Moore. It's a great film, by the way, and, for people that may be thinking that I got a problem with Michael Moore, I don't. I actually love the film. It inspired me to revise, not revise it, but to analyze it and to just see how I could be benefited from it. From after viewing this documentary, I'm saying, okay, now how can it work for me? Forget what he wants me to do. He wants me to protest capitalism. Sometimes you can't just do what other people say. You have to say, okay, does it make sense? And then what should I do about it after I decoded the movie? What can I do concerning it? I realized that I have to pay attention and stay focused on the process. If not, somebody would distract me from what the process is really all about. In this instance, it's capitalism. People would distract me from what capitalism is all about and what I should be doing as a citizen. As a citizen, I should capitalize on a need. I should find a need and capitalize on it. If I can't find a need myself, I go help somebody that is capitalizing off a need. That's what employment is so important. The freedom of employment. You don't have to work for somebody that's not fulfilling a need. You don't have to work for them. You can say, well, I choose to work over here because they're fulfilling a need. They're doing something positive in a community. I'm glad to be working, and so forth. You know how people talk. They're glad. Sometimes you could be doing something, but when you start working for something that you believe in, you don't necessarily have to be the employer. You can be the employee. But if you feel that you need to be an employer, there have been people who work for the corporate world and realized that they had to get away from that because they were controlled too much and dominated. So thank you, folks. Time's running out. Love you.